as long as we stay kind of over this zone, then the market itself is going to act pretty bullish. The couple things I'll also just be mindful of is that, even if the market like starts to rest, because we are up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row, even if the market starts to rest here or kind of marinate, that could still be really good for breakouts. In general, a flat market is like really the best days to trade breakouts and like momentum stocks, because those days are stock pickers markets anyways. So I do think that we'll have like ourselves, even if we kind of rest here for a few days, I do think we're going to have ourselves some fun for the next couple days. And you can see it in the action of individual stocks, right? We've been getting like yesterday was a really hot day to trade. I mean, there were stocks running off all over the place. And so that's telling you that the individual price action of stocks is getting really, really zesty too. So let's take a look at some of the earnings plays. There's a whole shitload of them today in like larger cap tech, and then there's some in the smaller cap tech too. Hey Daniel, how are you, Mr. Couture? What's going on? What are you guys all watching? Armand, what's your fave out of those? So yeah, you got like these little small guys that have been running like crazy. Not my particular flavor though. If this thing just snaps into 7, somebody probably shorted and everybody will be left, losing your lunch. So just something to kind of be mindful of. You can see here, Tin Lizzie's up 86%. This is actually a nice looking chart too in a breakout. You got 22 million shares in volume. When they got that much volume, they do tend to run, and they do tend to run hot. Yeah, see, like something like this, if you like the little guys, that can work, but that is not really we'll take a look later if they start to base out, but potato. All right, we got Elmer, junk, LCA. What's good? Lacandia said special meeting day to approve merger with the Golden Nugget. The Golden Nugget. Okay. I'd add LCA. When the SPACs go, they really do like to go. Add LCA to the watch list for now. You got Crowd with earnings out. This thing is breaking out to all-time highs here. Crowd is also a stock that we've traded like a bunch of times this year with some decent success. Not recently, because it's been just stuck in. If you notice, a lot of these tech companies like Facebook, right, Netflix, so on and so forth, they've really been digesting their gains since like August, and Crowd is like no different. So now that you're finally like kind of coming out of this zone, I think that I think this one's gonna have a chance. Crowd tends to work a lot better on dips than ORB. Almost always, so just kind of be mindful of that. It is a little, you would think it would be a thicker stock, but it's not. It's usually got a big spread and it moves really fast. Crowd, I think, is probably top of the list. Zscaler is the Zscaler. This one also, they got earnings beat, it looks like. Billing growth. So these guys do what? Billing? Man, I was in the wrong fucking business. If any of you guys are, under the age of 25, go to school, learn about what the heck this cloud thing does. Because I'm telling you, if you figure out what this cloud thing does, you can just start an LLC. Boom. You got yourself $1 billion, $2 billion, maybe even 10, 20 billion. Look at this thing. Billing growth. What does that mean, right? All you got to know is you get to school, you say, hey, man, I need to learn about this fucking cloud. And they're going to say, okay, this is what the cloud does. Boom, boom, boom. You move yourself to LA. Don't go to San Francisco. LA's got much hotter chicks. And then you start yourself a tech company and bam, you got yourself. Because look, you can be day trading today, grinding your balls off for like $2,000, $3,000, which is fine and dandy. But there's people out there making billions. Now, all you got to know, the secret is what the heck is a cloud. And once you figure out what the cloud is, where it is, what it does, and why it's even called that. And then you start yourself a little company, you're good to go. If any of you guys have children, this is what you got to do. These tech companies, they're going crazy. Like, I use this Twilio. For example, we use this Twilio for our company. I'm pretty sure these guys just let us do like group text messages. Use some shit like that. Like we use fucking Twilio, send out like mass text messages. I don't know what else they do, but then also they do have something in there, like if you want to pay extra to join the cloud. And so, we have the Twilio cloud too. Just something to say, if you love your children, you want them to have a nice life, a real nice life, away from strife and hunger, and to be able to do nice stuff for you, you get them in the cloud game. There's something in that cloud that's paying people money. All right, FCell, junk. CICC, junk. I mean, this is actually a nice bounce spot, but this one's not the best of traders. I think we're going to get some plays on some of these other EVs, though, today. All right. Fuck, QS, too. Hey, so this thing is, yesterday, we cut a little bit of a bounce on this thing yesterday. Fuck, I sold it to go take a nap, and this thing ran right in close. I'm taking my naps at the wrong time. Man, we had this thing like sitting around at the end of the day, and I went to sleep, and brrr. As long as this holds above yesterday's high, I think this is still in play. Keep this on your list. It does have a spread. It does move very fast. You have yourself sometimes 30, 40, 50 cents spread on it. So what you have to do is when there's a spread like that, reduce your size a little bit and let them roll. Now I will say these things have bounced up a lot. Hopefully a lot of you guys were able to kind of catch some of these things yesterday for a big day. Now we're kind of the easy bounce is over as we're going to get kind of closer back to highs. But I think that we still have maybe one more day, and then, we'll have to kind of probably let these things digest. Like if you're looking at XPEV or something, it's very, very similar. Yesterday was obviously yesterday was the easy bounce. You only get so many gimme trades in a week. Yesterday, you kind of pulling back to supports and stuff. You get yourself the gimme bounce. Now, this is like a day two play. If it can kind of break and hold over yesterday's highs, I do think that probably you're going to have yourself, you should have yourself a little bit of fun on it. It may not be in a linear manner because it does trade a little bit herky-jerky at times. But I think you have it. This is a classic setup that we use a lot too, which is, you have this big breakout, then you have the first pullback to the 20, and then a remount to the 9 EMA. That's actually a classic swing trading setup that, I've used for years also. That first pullback. So, when you have, this is the difference in moving averages. In the beginning of a run, you'll typically bounce off the 9 EMA because that's your shortest term moving average. And the move or the trend is early. As the trend gets extended and you're up 100, 200% without ever pulling back, then it becomes you need deeper pullbacks. And so the first bounce off the 20 will typically be the hottest. Now, if this thing starts to really, really rebound again, and now you're getting real long in the tooth, then what's going to happen is at some point that first bounce off the 50 will be really, really powerful. And that's where you kind of always have to go with these things. When you think about setups and moving averages, things like that, there's not a linear, green light buy, red light sell. You have to kind of take the context into account of where you are in the location of a trend and then what becomes useful. Because what's useful right now is not useful maybe 2 weeks from now, and what was useful 2 weeks before is not useful now. So always kind of be mindful of the context of where you are and the location of your stocks. That's going to give you a big help into these. I would keep that on the watch list. Nio had a rebound too. Now look, you kind of nuzzled against this 9 EMA, so I would kind of keep an alert here because if it starts to if it starts to struggle at that 9, then you very well could just roll back over. these were big drops. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to rebound over. We'd really need a close over that 9 EMA for this thing to be kind of back into the zone. You can see, right, LI is the same thing. You're holding at that 20 SMA. Keep an alert here. If you break and hold over 35.72, then you're gonna have yourself a nice little fun time. Now on the other side of things, take this TLS off. Hold on one sec. Let me just add TLS to the IPO list. All right. Hey, by the way, this Yala is probably something you should keep on your watch list for a swing trade. It's not ready yet. It needs a few more days, but it is like the Arabic Facebook or whatever. So my people are probably just on there just having all sorts of fun. But it looks pretty good. ENPA is just a classic swing setup too. You got big push 100 to 150. First pullback to the 20 SMA. Right now you're remounting the 9. I think ENPH probably got a chance today. Yeah, this was failed breakout yesterday. Boom, 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 junk, junk, junk. Hold on here. So we got XPAN. Yeah, take you off. All right. Future $30 stock. It busted on earnings to 51. You're pulling back to the 40 spot. Held at the 20. Remounting the 9 EMA. That thing is buenos. Nope, no 20 EMA on the daily. Not at last 15 years at least. Remount to 20, remount to 9, classic. If you also see here, you have a price support here too. So you got 2 levels of support. 2 levels of support, which is very, very important. If you get 1 level, it's nice. You get 2 levels, it's a super support, right? So just something to kind of be mindful of. 1 level is nice. 2 levels is a super support. And super support is better than a single support, obviously. So just something to kind of keep in the back of your neck. Look, JMIA is pushing right now. This was our one of our bigger winners yesterday. Man, we had this thing right at 27 too. You got a nice pullback. Almost retested the breakout spot. You got like right into close to this, old resistance, a few pennies away. Big swoosh down, remount the 9, herking and jerking, pulling and wheeling, shucking and diving. This thing's got legs on it. The other thing is, it's like, the Amazon of Africa. So, we got to buy it, right? Who doesn't want to be a part of that? It's got crazy momentum. If you look here, the volume on this, volume expansion is always key. When you think about volume, don't ever worry about intraday volume. It's the overall volume that matters. But if you're trying to read volume on a candle by candle basis when you're day trading, it's really meaningless because it's all how can you judge something on a minute by minute basis, right? But if you look, volume on a larger term basis will tell you at least a little bit of the story. And you can see the volume expansion on this. So it's going from 3 million shares. Now you're into the 30, 36, right? 30, 40, so on and so forth. That volume expansion is really providing a lot of fuel on this. And it's really kind of driving it to... So this is really top of the list. I wouldn't chase it up on a 4% gap, obviously after such a reversal yesterday. This is going to be top of the list, but we need a little bit of a pull. Fuck, PDD didn't wait for us. PDD's got a trend line. PDD's got a classic also. Guys, and you got to mark out your levels. When you're day trading or swing trading, always mark out your levels. You see an EMA or something, set an alert. That way you can catch the reversals. That's where it's being organized. See, the average person, they see a gap down and then they think okay, I gotta, try to short this thing because they see the gap down. But you gotta remember the overall structure of the trade and the support levels. So what ends up happening is you gap down and then boom, you come back. right? That's the next level thinking that you got to think about in trading books and also even in my own classes, right? It's like, we see gap down, we think ORB short, but you got to remember the overall structure of the trade is still like a big gigantic flag. So we want to be trying to long these things, especially in a hot market. Now, you got yourself a trend line break here. You're breaking over yesterday's high. This is top of the list. This is top of the list. Yeah, top of the list. Good. Dun, 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 dun. I got a whole host of little goofy swing setups and stuff that really don't matter. Lyft Uber broke out yesterday. Beautiful trenders too. And they're not, you know what? For some of you guys, this is actually, these are good. These are thicker stocks, but they still move pretty good. So when you have a thicker stock and they still move pretty good, you won't get a spread. The real MJ, right? This is like for you, right? So they still move, but they're a little bit thick. You won't get the spread. So what happens is like, you don't necessarily get shaken out as much. I like kind of a little bit of spread on my stocks. It makes them move faster, but not too much spread. There's a little bit of a sweet spot there. Lyft looks good. Uber's also busting loose. You can see here, break out the all-time highs. Very, very good. Spot looks okay. Spot's a tough day trader though. But it's I got some for swing on the breakout. I posted on the swing channel right when it was happening. It should be good for a little bit. Good, good, good. Add both of these. They're a little bit thick, but they still move pretty good. Yeah, and then, the rest of this stuff is all junk. Junk. That's the list. So focus. Let's think about the focus. You got these gappers. You got Crowd, ZS, Splunk on the downside. So you got Crowd, ZS. Splunk is not a priority. We may take it just because I'm good at the setup, but not a priority. We got Okta on earnings breakout. We got LCA. Those are the earnings plays. So there's tranches in your trading. You got your earnings plays. Then you got your EV and spec plays. Your EV plays are XPEV LI today. I wouldn't put NIO on the list. I think XPEV LI move a little bit more range. Then we got JMIA. And we kind of just couple that because it's a little bit of a speculative. Then we got our normal text that we like over here. And then you got your Lyft Ubers. So think about tranches. Everything should be good. That is the list. I'm sticking to it. What's good is good. What's done is done. Yes, pot stocks may move, but pot stocks stink to trade. And potheads themselves are typically very smelly and unshowered individuals. As we know, that is a fact. This is the list. BA, airplanes, pass. Airplanes, pass. I'm into spaceships, Armand, not airplanes. RCL looks okay. But once again, I'm into spaceships and not cruise ships. That is just who I am as a person, and I cannot stop that, okay? In today's society, we are who we are. This is nice. It's okay. It's got a good range, and frankly, it is a nice chart. If I didn't want to ruin my monologue there, I would say we should add this to the list. But now I've backed myself into the corner, and so I cannot say I like this, but I do. Does that make sense? Good. Rock and roll. Cool. Alright. Well, that's the list, and I'm sticking to it. If I could turn back time. Good. Crowd. ZS. It's a Z-scaler. Splunk. Okta. Okta is not a priority. Okta sucks to trade. Almost as much as Splunk. So we got our gappers. We got our regular stocks. What are we missing? PDD. Good. And don't forget and don't sleep on that PDD. Don't sleep on that PDD. Good. Tesla. Never trade Tesla anyway. Get rid of workhorse. Chunk. Good. We got our list, and we are sticking to it. Going once. Going down. Let's shred. Yesterday was hot. The day before was even better. We got a couple okay plays. Remember, not every day is going to be a home run. Let's grind our way. Always the first couple trades, we build a cushion, and then we go from there. Let's have some fun. Let's make some not bad memories. Peace!